been chosen.
What if I was just listening to this and taking this to heart?
Abuse and beatings and battered women and men that hit kids and moms that hit kids create angry men that end up going to look for someone else.
So this is the question I've had. I've seen these countless videos of people. Oops, let me go ahead. It's got some interference. There's countless videos of people is ruthlessly beating other apparently completely innocent individuals. Often there appears to be a racial disparity in these beatings. And I'm wondering, like, what is possessing people to do this? What is going on internally in the minds of these people, especially to cause them to gang up and just savagely go all out on a person? I'm on Natasha's channel, and she completely breaks this phenomena down.
And it happens over and over and over, including up until death, and no one's doing anything about it, and it's tragic. And so I pray for a teaching moment, which is what I've made with this video, because people that spank want to give themselves a pass and a permit, saying, oh, I'm just teaching my child this and that. No, you are breaking your child and creating an angry adult, and if it's ever mixed with drugs or alcohol, it's even worse.
So yes, her contention is that you have the child get punished for something he or she has done wrong. You go with the corporal method of laying your hand on the child, and in your mind, the reasoning is, this kid is so off the hinges, so bad, I need to send him a wake-up call. I need to just get him to pay attention to what's going on here. You're doing that, not realizing that through the mysterious and wonderful way the subconscious mind works, that child unintentionally will start to develop manifestations in the subconscious mind. And these manifestations are the planting of a seed of anger. The seed eventually sprouts and grows into a plant years later, and then you have these extremely violent scenes. Now, I can only editorialize so much with a certain language constrained in the bounds of YouTube. I want to say I'm noticing a significant disparity in the race of these perpetrations, at least for the videos that are popularized on Twitter. And so I'd speculated, is there a particular genetic basis for these variations, or is it all just home training? Is it all just repeating cycles of abuse? And are these cycles of abuse just happen to be divided along apparent racial lines? What I mean to say is it possible that the tendency to abuse a child may occur more likely in one particular racial background, but that's not for genetic reasons? It's just a continuing pattern, maybe even derived from the antebellum years when the African Americans were kept as slaves.
And it can actually result in death, and it's all avoidable if parents learn how to parent and they don't stop. And they stop before they hit their child and learn how to do time out. And I've been saying this for years. This violence used to be in third world countries, but it's all over the United States and it's all over the world. And if people take the time to not hit their children, they never learn how to hit as adults. Thank you.
So yes, in this discussion, I'm a little short on information. I don't know specifically the statistics of this paternal corporal punishment by country of heritage. So to attempt to satiate my ignorance, I decided to go ahead and Google the term socioeconomic status corporal punishment, and a neat article appeared as a top link. So I'm going to go ahead and click through that article link there. So the abstract is rather verbose. The point of this article that was interesting, I'll say it's 2 points. So we have this chart here, which shows arrows depicting hypothesized model of relations among socioeconomic status, parenting belief, stress, perception of the child, cognitive emotional processes, and discipline responses. So you see these perceived or these hypothesized relationships as an arrow diagram. So that's interesting. I'll go down further, and there's a paragraph under ethnicity and parenting beliefs. African American mothers have reported greater use of physical discipline than do European American mothers. African American parents have also displayed more punitive attitudes towards their children. How parents think about physical and severe discipline and its purpose as a socialization strategy may differ for African Americans and European Americans. Researchers have noted the moderating role of socioeconomic status in relations between ethnicity and stressors. In their study of race, socioeconomic status, and distress, group of researchers found that low-income African Americans were particularly vulnerable to additional race-related stressors and constraints and reported higher levels of stress than did low-income European Americans. So when we discuss genetic factors as being a possible additive to the scenario, this article cites old research which appear to demonstrate that the perceived impacts of stress may have been a little bit heightened in African Americans compared to European Americans. Now imagine if such feeling of stress is higher in the African American cohort. Having a higher perception of stress may have a higher tendency of resulting in extreme measures for correction. In other words, your misbehaving child is a bit more burdensome from this frame of this particular lineage. I speak as a distant third party, but in reality, I too have an African American lineage. Not that that qualifies me to talk on this topic, but you know how the politics are these days. You really have to almost qualify yourself for anything. I'm continuing my search. I found an article that appears to contradict the previous YouTube video that I had gone over with you. So this particular article, published in the New England Journal of Medicine, noted that in a period of time from 1988 to 2011, the use of corporal punishment by parents in different brackets of socioeconomic status, so it's like the 90th percentile, 50th percentile, and 10th percentile, they decreased significantly from 1988 to 2011. The percentage drops were an average of, looks like 20%. So for the lowest economic status bracket, the 10th percentile, the 1988 numbers for the percentage of children who received corporal punishment was 58%. That percentage dropped all the way down to 22% by 2011. So in analyzing this data, the conclusion that I would come to is that the overall violence and criminality issue has to improve over time if there's an association to corporal punishment. So we have to take a look at those statistics. I can't immediately command the statistics that I want to see for a year on the simple searches for the term for domestic violence statistics. So I'll have to leave that where it is and perhaps readdress the issue in the future. The cycles of abuse theory has always been one that fascinated me and seemed to pose as a possible explanation as far as why the world is the way it is and why people seem to do things against their better interests when there are alternatives. This will be an ongoing conversation. All right, take care. Bye.